نمشي نلاقي الأكل، عشان لو لقينا أكل كان ما عطشنا أمريكان ولا الصغير، ما أعطوناش الأمان دقيقة واحدة، على دقيقة ما أعطوناش الأمان. وين هذا؟
In Gaza, a boy lies silently in the dust. Beside him, his mother's lifeless body. He doesn't cry. He doesn't scream. Because in Gaza, even grief can get you killed. His fingers clutch the hem of her dress, a torn piece of fabric now soaked in ash and blood. He presses his cheek to the earth, still warm from the explosion. His small body trembling with a fear too old for his ears. He tries not to breathe too loud. Even the air feels dangerous. It carries the scent of smoke and something sweet. The perfume his mother wore every Friday. He remembers how she'd hum while brushing his hair, how she'd kiss his forehead with whispers of prayer. Now there is only silence and dust that settles like snow over everything, his hands, her face, the broken plastic car he dropped just before the sky fell. Somewhere, a call to prayer echoes through the chaos, soft, distant, almost unreal. And in that moment, he closes his eyes, not to sleep, but to hold on to the only thing he has left, a memory. Because in Gaza, even children must learn how to grieve without a sound. Ahmad Zeidan is just 12 years old, but he's already seen more than most people will in a lifetime. His childhood isn't filled with cartoons and school books. It's filled with the sounds of drones, the smell of smoke, and the ache of an empty stomach. On that day, his mother, his protector, his only shelter, left home to do the most dangerous thing a mother can do in Gaza: look for food. She kissed his forehead before stepping out. Her lips trembled. Her eyes lingered too long, as if they knew. As if this goodbye might be the last. Ahmad waited. Hours passed. The sun crawled across the sky, casting long, thin shadows on the wall. He counted the cracks in the ceiling. He tried not to imagine the worst. But then the ground shook, a boom louder than anything he'd ever heard. And suddenly, silence. Not the peaceful kind, the kind that screams. He ran. Barefoot, dust in his throat, and there on the side of the road, he found her scarf, charred, still warm. That day, the hunger in Ahmad's stomach was replaced by something far heavier, a grief too large for a boy to carry, but he carries it anyway, because in Gaza, even children must learn to be stronger than war. The world applauded the opening of new safe food distribution points, backed by foreign aid and built under the illusion of peace. But peace has no meaning when the bullets keep flying. Ahmad's mother was shot, not in a battlefield, not in the dark, but in broad daylight, while trying to feed her starving children. And there, in the open street, Ahmad watched his mother collapse. He dropped to the ground beside her, his tiny body shaking, his hands gripping her dress. Her eyes blinked slowly, trying to focus on his face one last time. Her lips moved, but no words came, just the faint sound of her breath fading. Ahmad screamed, but no sound left his mouth. The noise of gunfire had swallowed his voice. All he could do was hold on to her, to that moment, to the warmth that was already slipping away. The bread she carried lay scattered beside her, crushed and soaked in blood, a cruel offering to a war that devours the innocent. He pressed his forehead to her chest, as if he could will her heart to beat again, but it didn't. And so, in the middle of a street painted with sorrow, a boy became motherless, and the world kept applauding from a distance. He didn't move for hours because in Gaza, motion means danger, because every twitch, every breath could be mistaken for a target. He lay frozen, soaked in fear and sorrow, beside the woman who gave him life and lost hers trying to keep him alive. People passed by, but no one could help, because helping can also be a death sentence. The sun shifted above him, casting long shadows that crept like ghosts across the street. Flies circled in the heat. The scent of dust, blood, and burned bread filled his lungs. Still, he didn't flinch. His eyes locked on the sky, searching for the shape of another drone, wondering if it too would punish him for surviving. He thought about her voice, the way she sang to him softly at night, hiding the war behind lullabies. Now her hand lay inches from his, still, cold. He wanted to reach for it, but fear clenched tighter than grief. A whisper of wind carried the call to prayer from a distant mosque, soft, broken, defiant. And in that sound, he found something small, not hope, not yet, but a reason to breathe, to live, to remember. Because in Gaza, even a child must learn how to rise without standing. Ahmad survived that day, but something inside him did not. Can a child unsee the moment their mother is shot? Can they ever dream again after living a nightmare wide awake? Trauma like this doesn't just stay in Gaza. It travels through generations, through silence, through broken systems that keep repeating this horror. Now, even in sleep, Ahmad startles at the sound of birds, because they remind him of drones. He draws pictures not of trees or the sun, but of craters and shadows. He flinches when someone calls his name too loud, as if love might come with a price. He remembers her scent, jasmine and flower, and it haunts him. He remembers her touch, gentle, warm, now just a ghost in the corners of his memory. He is only 12, but he walks like someone much older, his spine heavy with sorrow, his eyes carrying questions no one dares answer. In his silence, he is not weak. He is enduring, because in Gaza, resilience is not a choice. It is survival. And Ahmad is still surviving. Ahmad is one of thousands. But today, we tell his story, because the world needs to know that in Gaza, even a child lying beside his dead mother is not enough to stop the silence. We must be his voice. We must be her not just in hashtags, not just in passing headlines, but in hearts that refuse to turn away. Because while we scroll, he stares at a cracked ceiling, wondering if it will fall before morning. Because while we speak of peace, he dreams only of bread and his mother's hand in him. The dust from that street still clings to his clothes. Her blood still stains the memory of his childhood. And yet, no justice, no answers, only echoes. Share this story, break the silence, because silence is no longer neutral. It is deadly, and if we do nothing, we become part of the noise that drowned her final breath. Let that not be our legacy. Let her not be forgotten. Not today, not ever. Subscribe to this channel for more true stories of lives lost, voices silenced, and the unbreakable human spirit.